In the 1970s, our grandmothers knew how to make Christmas drinks worth remembering. Their work in the kitchen didn't just fill glasses, it created drinks so bright and sweet, they made the whole room feel like Christmas.
Like most people, I'm doing my last-minute shopping.
Drinks that have been lost to time. These 30 forgotten Christmas drinks from the 1970s might sound too easy today, but they carried families through holiday parties, tight budgets, and beyond. Let's rediscover forgotten Christmas drinks from the 1970s that have disappeared. Walk into Grandpa Joe's Detroit kitchen on December 24, 1975, and watch him making Tom and Jerry batter. He'd separate a dozen eggs, beat the whites until stiff, beat the yolks with powdered sugar and rum extract until thick, then fold them together with baking soda and vanilla. The batter went into the refrigerator. When guests arrived, he'd scoop a spoonful of batter into a mug, add hot milk and a shot of brandy, then stir until frothy. The drink cost $2 to make a batch and served 20 people. It tasted like hot, boozy eggnog, sweet, custardy, warming, with the alcohol cutting through the richness. Tom and Jerry disappeared by 1985 when people stopped making drinks with raw eggs, and bartenders stopped keeping Tom and Jerry batter behind the bar. Stand beside Grandma Betty's Michigan kitchen on December 24, 1974, and watch her mixing pineapple orange juice. She'd pour canned pineapple juice and orange juice half and half into a pitcher, stir, and serve it cold over ice. The combination was tropical and special for Christmas. The drink cost $1 to make a pitcher and served 10 people. It tasted sweet and tangy, with pineapple and orange flavors balanced. The mixture was more interesting than either juice alone. The pineapple added sweetness, the orange added tartness. Pineapple orange juice mixed at home disappeared by 1985 when Tropicana started selling pre-mixed pineapple orange juice in cartons and people stopped mixing their own. The tradition died when buying pre-mixed became easier than pouring two juices into a pitcher, even though it cost more and tasted the same. Grandma Betty stopped mixing her own in 1983 when her grocery store started stocking pre-mixed juice, and she didn't see the point of buying two separate juices when one bottle did the same thing. The skill of mixing juices died, and today most people don't realize they could save money by mixing their own. Walk into Grandma Dorothy's Connecticut kitchen on December 25, 1977, and watch her heating apple cider. She'd pour apple cider into a pot, add cinnamon sticks, and heat it until steaming. She'd serve it hot in mugs with the cinnamon sticks left in as stirrers. No other spices, no sugar, just cider and cinnamon. The drink cost $1.50 for a gallon and served 10 people. It tasted like warm apples with cinnamon, simple, sweet, comforting. The cinnamon sticks infused the cider with subtle spice without overwhelming the apple flavor. Hot apple cider with just cinnamon sticks disappeared by 1985 when people started adding cloves, allspice, orange peels, and brown sugar, turning simple cider into complicated wassail. The tradition died when elevated became better than simple, and plain hot cider with cinnamon became too plain. Grandma Dorothy stopped making simple hot cider in 1983 when her daughter insisted on adding more spices, which made it taste like potpourri instead of apples. The beauty of plain hot cider with cinnamon, pure apple flavor with a hint of spice, was lost when complexity replaced simplicity. Stand beside Grandma May's Kentucky kitchen on December 23, 1974, and watch her making boiled custard. She'd heat milk in a pot until steaming, then slowly whisk in beaten eggs mixed with sugar and vanilla. The mixture cooked on low heat, stirring constantly until it thickened into a pourable custard. She'd strain it, chill it overnight, then serve it cold in cups. Some families added bourbon. The drink cost $1 to make a gallon and served 12 people. It tasted like liquid vanilla custard, sweet, rich, thick enough to coat your tongue. Into Grandma Dorothy's Connecticut kitchen on December 24, 1976, and smell wassail simmering on the stove. She'd heat apple cider with orange juice, lemon juice, cinnamon sticks, whole cloves, and brown sugar. The house smelled like Christmas. She'd ladle it into mugs and serve it hot. Some families added rum. The drink cost $1.50 to make a gallon, and served 10 people. It tasted like hot apple cider with citrus and spices, warming, sweet, slightly tangy. Wassail didn't disappear entirely, but most people stopped making it at home by 1985 when buying it at coffee shops became easier. The tradition of simmering it on the stove all day died when crockpots got shoved into closets and nobody had time to make drinks from scratch anymore. Stand in Grandma Betty's Michigan kitchen on December 25, 1975, and watch her making red punch. She'd pour a can of frozen Hawaiian punch concentrate into a punch bowl, add water according to directions, then pour in a 2-liter bottle of ginger ale right before serving. She'd add a frozen ice ring to keep it cold without diluting it. The drink cost 75 cents to make and served 15 people. It tasted sweet and fruity, fizzy from the ginger ale, bright red like Christmas. Red punch disappeared by 1984 when people decided serving drinks made from concentrate was cheap and started making fancy punches with fresh fruit instead. The tradition died when shortcuts became embarrassing instead of practical, and nobody remembered that kids actually liked red punch better than anything fancy. Stand in Grandma May's Kentucky kitchen on December 24, 1978, and watch her making chocolate milk with Nesquik. She'd scoop Nesquik chocolate powder into tall glasses, add cold whole milk, and stir vigorously until the powder dissolved. The drink had to be stirred well, or clumps of powder stuck to the bottom. The drink cost 50 cents to make, and served 6 people. It tasted like sweet chocolate milk, not as rich as Hershey's syrup, not as malted as Ovaltine, but perfectly sweet and chocolatey. Nesquik was the Goldilocks of chocolate milk, just right for kids. Chocolate milk made with Nesquik powder didn't disappear entirely, but serving it at Christmas did. By 1985, people decided chocolate milk was too everyday for holidays and started serving hot cocoa instead. The tradition died when Christmas became about impressing guests instead of making kids happy. Grandma May stopped serving Nesquik at Christmas in 1983 when her daughter said chocolate milk wasn't festive enough and insisted on making fancy hot cocoa with marshmallows, which took longer and the kids liked less than cold Nesquik chocolate milk. 40 drinks gone, 10 left. These used fresh mint, plain apple juice, Nesquik, canned juice. Your grandmother made drinks that were simple and good. You complicate everything and pay triple. That's what happens when simple becomes insufficient. Here are the last 10. Walk into Grandma Betty's Michigan kitchen on December 25, 1975, and watch her making cherry punch. She'd drain the juice from 2 jars of maraschino cherries into a punch bowl, add lemon-lime soda, pineapple juice, and the drained cherries. The punch turned bright pink from the cherry juice. The drink cost $1 to make and served 12 people. It tasted sweet and slightly artificial, with maraschino cherry flavor dominating. The floating cherries were a bonus. Kids fished them out with spoons. Cherry punch made with maraschino cherry juice disappeared by 1985 when people decided using cherry juice was too artificial and started making punches with fresh fruit instead. The tradition died when convenience became shameful and nobody wanted to admit they'd used maraschino cherry juice. Grandma Betty stopped making cherry punch in 1983 when her daughter said it was too fake and insisted on making punch with fresh cherries, which cost 5 times as much, took an hour to pit, and tasted less sweet than the kids expected. The maraschino cherry juice version, bright pink, perfectly sweet, loved by everyone, was abandoned in favor of natural punches that nobody actually preferred. Stand beside Grandpa Bill's Tennessee kitchen on December 24, 1976, and watch him making iced tea. He'd brew strong black tea by boiling water and steeping tea bags, add sugar while the tea was hot, then pour it into a pitcher with ice until cold. He'd serve it with lemon wedges. Southerners drank iced tea year-round, even on Christmas. The drink cost 25 cents to make a gallon and served 12 people. It tasted like sweet tea, very sweet, very strong, with lemon adding tartness. Southern iced tea was more sugar than tea, but that was the point. Iced tea on Christmas didn't disappear in the South, but the rest of America stopped serving it by 1985, when iced tea became a summer drink, and people started drinking hot beverages on Christmas instead. The tradition died when regional customs became too regional, and Southerners started feeling pressure to serve hot drinks on Christmas like everyone else. Grandpa Bill never stopped serving iced tea on Christmas. He drank it every day of his life, including December 25th, but his grandchildren who moved north stopped making it because their neighbors thought drinking iced tea in winter was weird. Walk into Grandma Betty's Michigan kitchen on December 25, 1977, and watch her making Shirley Temples for the kids. She'd pour ginger ale into glasses, add a splash of grenadine syrup for color and sweetness, then garnish with maraschino cherries. The drink turned pink and looked fancy. The drink cost 75 cents to make and served 8 kids. It tasted sweet and fizzy, with grenadine adding a fruity, slightly artificial flavor. Shirley Temples made kids feel special because they looked like adult cocktails but had no alcohol. Shirley Temples on Christmas didn't disappear entirely, but making them at home did. By 1985, people stopped keeping grenadine in their pantries and started ordering Shirley Temples at restaurants instead of making them at home. The tradition died when home bars disappeared and specialty ingredients became too much to keep on hand. Grandma Betty stopped making Shirley Temples in 1983 when her bottle of grenadine expired, and she didn't bother replacing it because kids can just drink soda. The ritual of making fancy non-alcoholic drinks for kids died when convenience replaced effort. Walk into Grandpa Joe's Detroit kitchen on December 24, 1973, and watch him making root beer floats. He'd scoop vanilla ice cream into tall glasses, then slowly pour root beer over the ice cream. The root beer foamed up and mixed with the melting ice cream, creating a creamy, fizzy drink. The drink cost $1 to make and served 6 people. It tasted like root beer and vanilla ice cream together, sweet, creamy, fizzy, with the ice cream melting into the soda. Root beer floats were special occasion drinks, and Christmas qualified. Root beer floats on Christmas didn't disappear entirely, but making them at home did. Walk into Grandma Ruth's Vermont kitchen on December 25, 1978, and watch her making hot lemon water. She'd squeeze fresh lemon juice into mugs, add hot water and honey, then stir until the honey dissolved. She served it to anyone with a sore throat or cold on Christmas. The drink cost 25 cents to make and served 6 people. It tasted tart and sweet, soothing on sore throats. Hot lemon water with honey was medicine disguised as a drink. Hot lemon water with honey didn't disappear entirely, but serving it on Christmas did. 45 drinks erased, 5 left. These used grenadine, root beer, tea bags, lemon juice. Your grandmother made drinks that brought joy and comfort. You complicate everything. That's what happens when tradition dies and convenience wins. Here are the last 5. Walk into Grandma Ruth's Vermont kitchen on December 24, 1973, and watch her making lime sherbet punch. She'd pour a 2-liter bottle of 7-Up into a punch bowl, add a can of frozen limeade concentrate, then scoop an entire half-gallon of lime sherbet into the punch. The sherbet floated on top and slowly melted, creating a frothy, creamy punch. The drink cost $1.50 to make and served 12 people. It tasted sweet, fizzy, and creamy all at once, with lime flavor from the sherbet and limeade. The tradition died when retro became a bad thing, and nobody wanted to serve anything their grandparents served.